Hi everyone, and welcome back to Neil with Neil and Thomas.
Hello.
Today we are going to take a look at one of the final songs of the selection period, and it is Theo Evan and the song Shh for Cyprus. That is
Who,
its
me?
name. Yeah, no, for once, I'm not telling Thomas to shut up. Before we get into this video, do remember to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and remember to press the notification bell. That will tell you whenever we have new content for you. And you can also go to neopad.com. You'll find all of our social links, the podcast version, etc. Everything. Um, but let's get into it. This is for Cyprus. I'm assuming again that both of us haven't heard this. I've been avoiding this like the plague for like the last week.
Yeah,
Um,
haven't heard it.
so another blind reaction. It's going to be nice after today to be able to actually listen to the songs and properly
Yeah,
listen
yeah,
properly.
exactly.
But let's get into it. This is shh. Oh, dramatic start. Ooh.
I've got golden locks and eyes so captivating. I am famous for my beauty. Who am I? I've been told I am a
I'm not
little
sure of
overconfident,
these
so
lyrics
I'm
straight away.
unsure my downfall. Who am I? Fell in deep. I lost my heart.
This is not what I was expecting from him.
Heaven and hell in me. I fell in deep. I lost my heartbeat. Follow the bloodstream. Hush,
It's
hush.
feeling a little bit Squid Gamey
Please don't
with the
leave.
mass
Yeah,
figures.
yeah.
If you know my name, then keep it a secret.
Oh, oh, okay. I'm liking the beat, I have to say.
It's quite party. Yeah.
Yeah. I was expecting a bit more of a poppy feel, but it's quite dance.
Yeah.
By jealousy and cheated by my enemy, from tears and blood to flowers. Who am I? I fell in deep. I lost my heartbeat, stuck in between heaven and hell in me. I fell in deep. I lost my heartbeat. Follow the bloodstream. Hush, hush.
I do really like the music video. I feel like they're cool visuals.
Yeah. And this hush bit is quite a nice hook to get you into it in
Yeah.
the chorus. Okay,
Okay.
a little bit more of a drop here. I like that we're both just invested in this video.
Yeah. There's a lot of vocal effects though in these high notes, so it'll be interesting to know if he pulls it off live.
Oh, it was him all along.
Oh,
Oh,
it really is Squid Game.
it feels really, yeah. It's definitely taken inspiration from that for sure, right?
Mm.
Okay. Cyprus has their entry. It is shh, and I kind of like it. There's bits of it that I'm not 100% convinced on, but as a whole, I think it's way different from what I think either of us expected from
Oh yeah.
Theo Evan.
Well, do you know what it is? We saw a bit of a clip of one of his previous songs, which was very poppy, very bop. Then he did was it was it
It,
Fuego he
Fuego?
did
Yeah,
in the was it in the Greek national final? Was it in the Maltese? I don't know what
Greek, because
the
Adonis
Greek
did the
national
Maltese.
final, I think. Exactly. And obviously, Fuego is also a bit like a summer bop. This is still a bop, but it's not poppy per se. It's got a bit of a pop feel, but it's very dance. It's very a bit trancy as well. Yeah, I like this. This is actually surprising, and it feels like a bit of a different direction for Cyprus to go into as well. So that's interesting.
Yeah, so I was asking on Blue Sky earlier, uh, where all the sort of love for Belgium went because it's still one of my tops, but it does seem to be lower in a lot of people's. And someone replied saying like, "Well, I prefer Shh by Theo," and I was kind of surprised. I was like, "That's a strange comparison to make to
Mm,
Cyprus," but now hearing it, I'm like, "Oh, okay, that makes some sense in terms of comparison. It has got a slightly similar vibe in the
yeah.
instrumentation of it." Um, yeah, I was. That's something I was not expecting whatsoever.
Mm,
Um, the verses for me are a bit of a letdown. They feel very sort of spoken wordy, a bit too much. Um, Also, the opening lyric was the only lyric that I was able to focus on because it really confused me because he was talking about having golden hair, and I'm like, what?
mhm.
Obviously, it's a song we need to look at the lyrics more, but it was just like, you don't have golden hair. What are you singing about having golden?
Yeah.
It was just like an instant confusion there. Um, but what I'm thinking with this is obviously we've got a really cool music video here. We have to remember that Sergio, who did Bambi's staging last year, is working with Cyprus this year. So something amazing could be brought out of this. Whether or not it's got the full impact as a song to really resonate with people at home, I'm not 100% sure. I feel like this is one that needs a few more listens.
I feel like yeah, I do get the comparison with strobe lights, although I feel like strobe lights is whether you like it or not is more of an instant hit. I feel like you watch that performance and you either like the genre and immediately connect with the performance in the song, or you don't like the genre and you don't get it, and that's fine. I feel like with this one doesn't feel as instant. I feel like this one will need, like you said, a bit more time. And I also feel like it's also a bit too much on the pop side to really be to for me to really be able to fully compare it with Belgium. It's they're still very different for me. I can
Yeah,
I
oh
can
yeah.
I can I can hear the similarities a little bit, is because it does have a really good beat. Um, but Belgium really leans more towards techno. This one doesn't really. I mean, not in my opinion, anyway. What I'm really curious about, as I said when we were reacting to it, is there's a lot of vocal um, effects in this song, especially in the chorus, especially during the higher notes. So I don't know if they did that for a sort of like an effect on the song, or if they did that because maybe to make the vocal sound a bit better. So I'm interested to see if he's going to be able to pull it off live, because there are pretty high notes. Um, but I did really like the visuals. I feel like the music video does really tell a story. It almost feels like he's running from something that he's scared of, and then at the end of the day, it turns out that he's basically been running from himself. So I feel like that's an interesting
Ooh,
thing. Um,
metaphors.
yeah, exactly. We've had a lot of metaphors in for the 69th Eurovision Song Contest. This one is not in a sexual way or anything, but still, there's a lot of metaphors. When it comes to the staging, I know that it's the same staging director for Cyprus as it was for Ireland last year. However, that really does not tell me anything, because there have been so many times where people have said, "Oh well, for example, you've got Sacha Jean-Baptiste, who's done some amazing stagings, but then has also done some really weird stagings where it's like, what the hell just happened here?" So that doesn't tell me anything. So that doesn't really give me any confidence about that. What does give me confidence is the fact that Cyprus usually knows how to stage. I
Mhm.
don't really remember a staging from Cyprus, at least not in the last couple of years, that was bad or cringe or weird or anything. Um,
Other than um Ella in 2022, I think the staging let that one down. But other than that, I think they're pretty solid.
I mean, with Ella, I have to say the staging. I don't think it necessarily was the staging so much more as it was the camera angles, which is also part of staging, of course. But I feel like the prop in itself was really beautiful. What really let it down, in my opinion, was the vocal. The
Mm.
vocal was not good, and that was a fantastic song. Probably my favorite Cypriot entry for the last couple of years. But the vocal was just shaky. It was out of tune, and that to me killed her chances. Not the staging so much, but I agree it wasn't phenomenal staging, but I don't think it was bad either.
Okay. Well, it's definitely going to be interesting. I think this is going to turn into one of those Marmite ones. People are either going to really get into it or they're not going to like it at all and not care for it in any way, shape, or form.
Mm.
I'm interested to see where we begin to fall within that. Um, at the moment, I'm probably leaning slightly towards I'm probably going to really dig this,
Mm.
with the energetic beat, etc. Like we all know I love a bit of energy when it comes to my type of music. This gives
Yeah.
me a lot of energy. It's just that vocal I'm not 100% convinced about, and I've not really heard his vocal live ever
Well,
in
well,
anything.
no, because he did playback in the Greek national final, and I haven't really looked up any of his potential previous live performances. But yeah, I feel like the genre of the song, which I think was also a comment on your post about Brett Sebastian, the genre of this song and Belgium's entry is not something that you hear a lot at Eurovision, and I feel like maybe within the Eurofandom it gets a bit lost.
Yeah,
Um, as I said before, that trance and techno is really big in Belgium, always has been. Um, we've had some fantastic uh, dance and techno acts over during the 90s, the early 2000s. Um, so for us, this really hits, and I think that this could potentially do rather well with televoting in Belgium. Um, but I feel like in the Euro fandom, a lot of people dismiss not just Belgium, but this one as well. I've seen a lot of people really being sort of like, it's all right.
yeah,
Whereas like for me, this beat really, I'm not saying it's my favorite or anything, but I feel like this is an underrated genre, and it's a genre that I think we should be more open to and see the potential of it rather than just saying, oh, this is a genre that I don't like, so it's a bad song.
yeah.
Do you know what I
It,
mean?
it's interesting how much Eurofans call out for something new. For example, Sweden, etc. But they call out for new
Yeah.
things. But when we get something a little bit new for Eurovision, not that it's new in any way, but it's just not often seen at Eurovision,
Yeah.
they're lukewarm on it. So it's
Yeah.
sort of an interesting juxtaposition um, to be made there completely. But yeah, I do think we're getting some underrated songs this year. But here's the thing: there's so many good songs of different genres, of different styles, of different tempos that we're going to have to do our ranking soon, and I have no clue where anything's going to go.
Mm.
Like I'm
Yeah.
lost.
Yeah, and I feel like for me, when I'm thinking about my ranking, I think I'm probably going to switch them around a lot more than I do in other years, depending on my mood.
They're quite
And
close,
also,
all of them, aren't they?
yeah, they are. It's really open. It feels really open. I feel like there's several ones, even the ones that feel underrated with some people are being tipped as potential contenders for jury or televote or both with other people. So I feel like it's a really open field.
Hmm.
And again, this is something that we say all the time, but stagings are going to change so many people's opinions. Um, how many times have we dismissed a song and then seen the staging and been like, oh wow, this is suddenly shot up
Yeah,
into my top 10.
staging and
So
live
it's
vocals,
really,
absolutely.
yeah, exactly. So if we do a ranking, or if we do, you know, I'm guessing soon enough we're going to try and do a first prediction of who's going to qualify. These are just predictions and rankings based on what we have now which is
Mhm.
some national final performances, so live, some not live performances.
Some
It's
music
it's all
videos,
just it's a
some, yeah,
guessing game at this point. Yeah.
exactly. Well, that leaves us with only one song left to react to. It'll be France's Luan. Bef- we will get into that in the next video. Before we leave you, do remember to subscribe to this video, uh, like this video, subscribe to this channel, like this video, and press the channel notification bell. Oh, it's yeah.
You've done that before.
I have, and I will continue to do it. You can also go to neopod.com. All the links are there. But we will see you next time. Have a good one, guys. Bye bye.